I'm Aveline. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day, and I mean that. I hope you're all doing great on this fine Wednesday, I think it is. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But anyway, so today we are building something. We're building a simple family home that is a one-story home. One-story homes are always highly requested, so I felt like it was about time. It almost looks base game, but it's not. It's just a nice, like quaint, simple family home. So that's what we're doing today. But before we get into today's video, I would like to say a massive thank you to Disney Emoji Blitz for sponsoring this video. You can download Disney Emoji Blitz by clicking on the link at the top of the description box or the one in the pinned comment. However, as per usual, we are doing a little bit of a sweepstakes. I am giving away a pack to one of you guys, so if you want to learn how you can join this sweepstakes, definitely stick around. Disney Emoji Blitz is unlike any other match 3 game on the market right now because each emoji that you choose to play with has its own unique power. So in that way, it's both strategic and challenging, and since it's all Disney themed, it is super cute as well. My favorite emoji to use is the Mad Hatter. He's an amazing emoji. His ability is so awesome. Highly recommend you check him out because he gets stuff done, I promise you guys. If you're big on collecting in games such as I am myself, you will love Disney Emoji Blitz because there are new emojis added every week from both Disney, Pixar, and Star Wars movies. Plus, you can collect emojis from different categories such as silver, gold, rainbow exclusive, as well as story and villain emojis. And as a bonus, all emojis are gathered on a special keyboard so you can actually use them to send them to your family and friends. To get you started on your emoji collection, 3 of you will be able to win the Disney Princess Starter Pack, which includes the emojis Meg, Aurora, Cinderella, and Tiana. All you gotta do is use my link at the top of the description box or the one in the pinned comment. And the link actually also works as a creator code, which means that all money that you spend in game helps support me and the channel. And lastly, to join the sweepstakes, it's super easy. Everyone can join regardless of where you live in the world, and it's also for both PC and console players. All you gotta do to join is download Disney Emoji Blitz using my link, then get to level 20, take a screenshot, and then send it to me in a DM on either Twitter or Instagram. And if you're already level 20, you can still join. All you gotta do then is take a before and after screenshot of yourself gaining 5 levels. So say that you're level 20, you take a screenshot, then get to level 25, take another screenshot, and then send me both of the screenshots. And all my socials, as always, are linked in the description box if you did not know. So that is all. Should be super easy. I wish you all the best of luck, and thank you again so much to Disney Emoji Blitz for sponsoring this video. Now let's get started building this simple one-story family home. Let's do it. Let's go. So this house is going to be on a 40 by 30. It's built in Willow Creek, and it's for 2 parents, 1 teen, and also a kid. The 2 smaller bedrooms are really small, whereas the master bedroom is definitely a bit on the bigger side. Just want to warn you guys a little bit about that. And basically, I was so set on having this on a 30 by 20 for the longest time that I got really stubborn about it, because the last house that I built was actually a 30 by 20, but the one before that, the bigger one before that, was a 40 by 30. And I swore to myself that I was not going to do another 40 by 30 for a while, but it just was not fitting onto this lot. The house became a little bit too big, so I moved it to the 40 by 30. However, I was very adamant to not use up the entire lot. Also because I felt like the house was still, for a 40 by 30, a little bit on the smaller side. And with a smaller sized house and a 40 by 30 and then a huge backyard, that would just end up looking a little strange. So we do have some space around the lot, but personally I am completely okay with that. I hope you guys are too. Another reason I wanted to move it to a bigger lot was actually because the 3 windows on the garage was looking a little bit weird. And also there was no way to get around the house to the backyard, which I personally like. So yeah, anyway, enough talk about the lot size. I hope you guys are doing great on this Wednesday. At least I think it's supposed to be Wednesday today. If it's not, I am deeply sorry. I hope you're having an amazing day regardless. I hope that your week is going amazingly, and let me know if you've been reading any good books lately, or if you've seen any good series or movies lately. If there's something exciting happening in your life, let me know, because honestly, I'm in hermit mode, so nothing is happening here, and I want to live through you guys. So let me know everything that's going on, okay? We can make a deal about that, okay? Or at least I hope you're willing to make that deal with me. If any of you are curious about my little finger damaging situation, we're getting to a better point now. I can actually like properly use my fingers on my keyboards now, or my keyboard, just singular keyboard. It was a little bit of a struggle for a while, but I'm still laughing about it because I don't know, I'm so clumsy. You gotta laugh about it, otherwise it's just sad. So that's my rule, but it's getting better. I still have a bruise under my nail, which looks super strange. My nail didn't turn blue though, it's just there's a bruise. It's more like purple, to be honest, and slightly yellow. But it's getting better, so I am back to building, I'm back to editing and everything. I can't wait to just actually get stuff done, because it felt really strange for a couple of days. Like, it really did. Because it's just when you're home anyway, you know? You're just home, not doing anything. And I don't like that. I am very not into that at all. I like to I will lie and read or something, or I'll sit at my computer and play a game or work on something like a build or a video or whatever. So for me to not be able to probably sit down and actually use my keyboard was highly annoying. So but we're on the good side now. We can actually, or I can actually sit here now. So definitely expect builds on the channel this week. If there's anything specific that you'd like to see, definitely let me know. Oh, and also I forgot, there is also room for a dog in this house. It's not often that I include pet stuff simply because, first of all, I tend to forget it. Sometimes I forget it. But also, I feel like it's such an easy thing to add yourself. So whereas like it's kind of annoying to have to remove every time, so it's just an easy thing to add. Maybe the litter box is a little bit more difficult to place in the house, especially if you have a tiny house. But personally, I think sometimes I just opt out of adding pet stuff because I know that it's easier for you guys if you download the house to add than it is to actually take it out, because then you just have like an empty spot where the food bowls are supposed to be or something. So, but for this house, I was just really feeling like they had a pet. So I decided to actually go for it this time. I also added laundry machines. I know I've not been doing that a lot lately, but I decided to do it this time. And also I realized that I forgot to record for a second. I'm out of practice, okay? You'll be surprised how quickly you get out of practice from recording, or lose the habit of record. I don't know how to say that. You guys get what I mean. When you just take a little bit of a break, even if it's just like 4 days, it still hits you. So I forgot to press record for a second, but you didn't miss out on much, I don't think. I think I just added down a couple of decor pieces, like clutter pieces, maybe a plant and a lamp, possibly a couple of lamps or something. Also, when I was decorating, I actually felt like the two book piles, book stands, whatever. The ones I placed on the shelves next to the TV, I actually thought they looked good, but then when I took the screenshots, I didn't really know anymore, so I don't know if I like it now. I feel like there's some decor missing, but I also think when I started building this house, oh, and by the way, you're actually entering the house through or directly into the living room for a change. I never do that because that's not how houses are built here in Denmark, where I'm from, where I live. It's just, you don't really see that. I think it's because it's cold during winter. We have a lot of snow and stuff, so it's just more normal to have a hallway, or if you don't have that, at least you walk into the kitchen or something instead. Not really sure why, but like why the kitchen, but it's very rare that you walk into the living room here. But I was trying to, because I mentioned last week that I might want to do like trying to build a floor plan situation, so, or a video, not a situation, but you guys get what I mean. So I wanted to practice that a little bit. So for today's build, this is actually highly inspired by a house that I found, I know, surprise, on Pinterest, whatever. And I tried to kind of follow the floor plan a little bit, but not to a T. So I decided to add the living room where the living room in the floor plan was. And it still feels weird. Like, I still don't fully get the whole stepping directly into the living room situation. That's just not for me personally. But you guys would know. Like, this is why you sometimes comment, why are you walking into, or why do you step into the kitchen? Because you're not used to that, but that's just how, or a hallway, whatever. It's just how it is here, so, you know. But regarding those two book piles, or book stands, or whatever we call those, I've honestly no idea. But I also was really set on making this like super simple at the start, so not a lot of clutter, but then I think I kind of half lost that throughout the build. I'm not sure. The parents' bedroom is pretty simple too, to be honest. It's like, it's very big, but there's not a whole lot of furniture in it. I kind of like it because it's very airy, but it also feels weird to me because I'm so used to just having cramped spaces and a lot of furniture and a lot of clutter and everything, basically to the point where you have issues with The Sims rooting. So, but that's just how I normally do things. I don't know. I just wanted to change it up a little bit, or mix it up a little bit for a build for a change. We're also doing a one-story, which I normally don't do unless I do tiny houses. Then they're often one-story most of the time. I would say like 95% of the time. But when it comes to family homes, I actually prefer them to be like actual, not tiny family homes. I prefer them to be 2 stories because I don't know, I think they look better for some reason, but this one had to be a 1-story, so I hope you guys appreciate that though, because, or know that a lot of you actually prefer for gameplay to play with 1-story houses, so that's what I mean. Like, I hope you appreciate that. I know it's probably because it's easier to keep track of where all the Sims are when they're just on 1 story, and it's also easier to, or 1 floor, and it's also easier to just not, like, it takes less time for them to walk around the house, I suppose. Depends on the house, doesn't it? Because if it's a very, very large 1-story and there's not a lot of doors, then it will still take a long time. You could make a maze out of that. Oh my gosh, it actually reminds me. I used to watch a lot of streams on Twitch. Some people were doing challenges where, what was it called? It was like Hunger Games, kind of, but not, like, they don't unalive each other. I'm saying unalive because YouTube, thank you. But they were, what were they called? D-games or something? That sounds weird too. There are just certain words you can't say in voiceovers or in videos overall. Sorry about that. It's YouTube, but they were called something. I'm just gonna go with Hunger Games. Basically, you had like 10 Sims or 8 Sims or something, and one of the games where you had to make a maze and then see who got through to the end, and that would be the winner or something. And they had like, there's a lot of Sims breakdowns, let's just put it like that. A lot of sudden peeing in the middle of the maze, or fainting, or whatever Sims do, I forgot, but I just remember thinking it was hilarious. And as soon as I said maze, I just had a picture of one of the streams that I watch pop up in my head, where the streamer, I don't remember who it was, I am so sorry, it's a while ago, like years ago, but I just remember it being so funny. Why don't people do that anymore? Do they? I don't know. Like I said, I don't really watch Sims content in general, but I really don't watch streams anymore. It's just not, I prefer putting on videos. Then I know what I'm getting. I don't know. Anyway, so for the backyard, we had quite a lot of space to play around with. If you are curious why this is not a squared backyard, because I do get questions about that whenever I don't make square gardens, square backyards, whatever. I had to cut it down because I was about to laugh and I really don't know why. But anyway, so whenever I do backyards that aren't squared, I sometimes get questions about it, but it's just because I like to add a little bit of flow to the backyard. I like to add a little bit of shape so that it helps me plan the backyard a little bit better, and that's just a me thing. I think it's like a floor plan. When you're building a house, it's hard to, I think I explained this in the last video actually, maybe, but it's hard to make a floor plan in a box house. So if you just have like a rectangle, it's really difficult to figure out where you're going to place down the walls. So for a house like this where you have a lot of corners, you can kind of just follow the corners. And the same thing for me counts for backyards as well. I just like to add a little bit of shape to them. Today I kind of added a lot, but I also had a lot of space to deal with. So It just kind of, this is what it came to, basically. But yeah, there's a lot of corners in this backyard. I like the layout of it though. They have basically about everything they should possibly need. There is both a sand pit over here, but there's also later on, I actually removed half of the sand because it was getting a little bit too, there was some green missing in the backyard, like everything was covered by tiles or sand or something else. So I decided to get rid of half of the sand over here, just to add a little bit of green. And then I turned this into a sand pit. I did, however, go back and remove some of these slabs later on because it turned out that they were actually causing blocking for the sim. It was just causing them to not be able to walk into the sand pit, and that doesn't work for gameplay. So I decided to remove a couple of them. But they have a monkey jungle bar. That's not what it's called. I don't care. There's also a clothing line outside. There's a little bit of a lounge area over here too. Or not a lounge area. I placed down a picnic table instead because I felt like it was a nice, cute little area. So it was more fitting to place down a picnic table. And then they also have an outdoors, not a full-on kitchen, but there is a bigger grill. And also an outdoors sink as well, yeah. And also a dining table with a lot of chairs. They have a little gardening corner over here with some plant pots and, of course, a pool. I forgot to add certain things to the pool while I was recording, but it's in the uploaded version on the gallery and also on Patreon, so don't worry about that. There is both a ladder and also one of the things you can jump off of. I forgot what they're called right now. But those things, okay? I had a stepping stool. What are they called? That is so annoying. It's not a stepping stool because it's not a stool. Oh my gosh. A stair, a pool stair. No, wait, that's a ladder. Whatever. One of those things you can jump off of, okay? The annoying thing, whenever I do voiceovers, I always forget a couple of words, but I actually know the words and I'll most likely remember them as soon as I'm done with the voiceover, and I'll sit here super annoyed with myself that I couldn't remember them during the voiceover. So whenever you guys leave like corrections or whatever, I already know. I just forget. Unless I say I don't know what that word is, I have most likely just forgotten. So it's just the thing. I just forget certain things when I'm doing voiceover. It goes a little bit too quickly sometimes. So it is what it is. But they also have some lounge chairs by the pool. And then lastly, I don't know why I did it like this. Usually I have a system to the way that I build. I will do the whole shell of the house. I'll do windows, doors, I'll do wallpaper, then I'll do the landscaping at the front of the house, then move on to the interior, and then do the back of the house as the last thing. But for this house, I just did not. I basically moved past wallpaper and just forgot about landscaping at the front of the house too, and went straight to the interior. I don't know why. So we have a little bit more to go through before we're done with this build. It feels super strange doing this at the end of the video, but you know, it's a thing for this build. There's no system to it anymore. It's fine. I actually really wanted to make this house green, but then I recalled that the last house I did actually last week, I think, was a greenhouse, and I don't like doing same colored houses twice in a row. I just don't. Just like I don't like to go for the same color scheme for interiors twice in a row, like 2 times in a row. It's just, it gets a little bit repetitive for me, and it also, I know that it's super boring to watch when all the houses are the same, so it is something that I prioritize. And I hope you guys are aware of that I do prioritize that. I feel like they're different from each other, but you know, you might be blind to your own work. I don't know, but the house did not turn out to be green, even though I wanted to make it green. I ended up making it this kind of off-white-ish color. I would say it's more a lighter gray, and then it's the base game wallpaper. It's not my favorite, but it was the right color that I wanted to go for. So hope you guys are okay with that. You can always just repaint it another color if you would rather have it be red or something. Red is probably a color that I'd never use for exteriors. I know I have done in the past, but I've grown past it. I can't do it anymore. Not because it's not pretty, it's just I can never make it look right. So I just never use red for exteriors anymore. It's just a little bit too much. It's like yellow. Yellow I can deal with in small proportion, or in small portions, not proportions. Well, proportions too, whatever. So like tiny houses. Yellow tiny houses, like small suburban tiny houses that are yellow, are super cute. But for a bigger house, it's a lot of yellow. Like it's a whole lot of yellow, you know? that's how I feel about red too. It's just a lot of red. I think I might actually have trashed the color red in the last video too, and I'm so sorry. If that's your favorite color, you go. It's just very overpowering for me and I can't deal with it. So I don't know. I grew up in my dad's house, but my mom's apartment and her interior, she's always loved the color red. So I think that might be one of the reasons why I'm very careful with it, because it's a lot. Like if you have one red wall, you're brave, you know? Kudos to you. You go. I can't do it. I just can't. Anyway, I promise you guys that I will not talk about the color red in the next voiceover. I promise. So anyway, we are at the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you like this house, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. And as always, the tray files will be on my Patreon, which will be linked to in the description box down below. If you like Roblox videos, check out my Roblox channel, and if you like lifestyle videos such as vlogs or videos where people will rant about books, check out my other channel. Both of those will also be linked to in the description box. Thank you again so much to Disney Emoji Blitz for sponsoring today's video. If you want to join the sweepstakes where I'm giving away one pack for The Sims 4, go back to the start of the video because I explain how you can join. And yeah, it should be super easy. I wish you all the best of luck again. And that is all I got for you guys today. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
And I am glad to let you know, but